My name is Dagmawi Woubshet. I am here as a fellow here at Civitella, looking at this extraordinary vista. Um, I am a scholar, I am a writer and a translator, and very glad to be sharing a very short piece with you. This is the very first personal essay that I wrote and published. It appeared in 2007 in the literary journal Kalalu. It has two epigraphs. One is a musical bar, and it's the scale. It's one of the scales of Ethiopian music, and the scale is Tizita. And the other one is an epigraph from Toni Morrison. Tizita for Raphael. You can only earn by practice and careful contemplation the right to express it, and you have to learn how to accept it. Toni Morrison. It was in the dark, on top between the surfaces where sweat and semen glisten, his back taut towards my turbid body, towards the earth, towards the sky, I let loose, crying hollow. I had wandered for years, nowhere to go. The places, the way I see them now, they are ember ash. But I found a way in this dark, blasted world, discovered song to bear my weight from going under. This same night, I know I died. I mourned myself, came to life too. Both impossible unless anchored in love, difficult always, divine only. To come to America of age out, to become black, secular, new world, to discover something sacred to buoy up a world. When tongues converge, in the wake comes narrative, bodies, languages, lament and song among love's properties. I write in sutured tongue. English I learned after Amharic had shaped my tongue's first memories. But to both Amharic and English I am a stranger. It's an insight I learned a few years back in tongue collapse as I came out to my mother, who could not register gay or homosexual. I could not translate either term into Amharic nor make real approximations. Open world lives don't exist in my mother's tongue, though epithets do. I'd come too far to return to the dregs for resource to name something root. Epithets, it turns out, are not what a writer hyped them up to be, quote, the root that attaches us deeply to our homeland, unquote. No safety in language, and still I write in this sutured tongue. The English language has irrevocably altered how I express the world. Strange to Amharic is a millennia-old literary tradition, partly because I was 13 when I came to America, partly too, I was so quiet a child, melancholy. Growing up, I don't remember having a voice my own. Mooring me instead my father's singular voice, unfettered tenderness, and icons grafting me to time beginnings, Ethiopians claiming as their own the Ark of the Covenant and first fossils of the human species. But now, as new American, new world African, I ask myself, interloper of the West, what tradition will you inherit? Identification, key among love's properties, for it places, it envisages. Graft yourself, I hear them say, go ahead, identify, earn it. Writers inhabit language to earn perspective, to enter new worlds. I can't think of the world, perhaps, for example, without the gnawing open-endedness Baldwin conjures with it. Or in Fester, I picture the underside of a dream. In Trouble, I hear Jesse or Mahalia, sonic depth. The blues bard sings, well, trouble, oh trouble, trouble on my worried mind. When you see me laughing, I'm laughing just to keep from crying. Discoveries in the New World provide access back to moods indigo. I'm just beginning to understand the Ethiopian Asmari, the cast-out troubadour who interprets life against the current. It's in new words, new worlds, I have realized his temperament. Haunting among the Asmari's repertoire is the ballad Tizita, a term which translates as memory, and which the Asmari translates as reflective nostalgia. One definition of Tizita I have borrowed from Ellison's Distillation of the Blues, quote, an impulse to keep the painful details and episodes of a brutal experience alive in one's aching consciousness, to finger its jagged grain and to transcend it, not by the consolation of philosophy, but by squeezing from it a near tragic, near comic lyricism, unquote. And Tizita derives its life and shape from the insistent, aching memory of lost love. At times, even having imagined love lost, this sung memory issues a prescient melancholy. Now, cast out in modes old and new, I search tongue frequencies. Tinantina deso zarintentereso Kenegam tewiso amnanim adiso Yimet al tizita guazunag besbeso. Outdoing yesterday, shouldering on today, borrowing from tomorrow, renewing yesteryears, comes Tizita, wake like, hauling possessions.